Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Radar has become such a part of our lives that we don't always appreciate what goes into these systems. In the military, it is important not only to see approaching threats, but also to ensure safe air traffic control. Switch the radars off, and the world will change radically. Military radar development began during World War II when British scientists developed systems to detect incoming German aircraft. Large radar systems are typically composed of enormous rotating antenna arrays that send radio waves into the atmosphere. When these waves bounce off things, such as aircraft or missiles, the resulting signals provide critical information regarding speed, direction, and altitude. During the Cold War, Strategic Air Command, or SAC, relied significantly on huge radar networks, including the Distant Early Warning Line that stretched across northern Canada. Modern phased array systems, launched in the 1960s, abolished the need for mechanical rotation in favor of electrical beam guiding, allowing for faster scanning and tracking of many targets. Modern military radars use complex signal processing and can detect stealth aircraft using sophisticated algorithms and higher power output. Radomes protect sensitive radar equipment by covering antenna systems from weather, wind, and environmental damage. These unusual dome-shaped structures resemble huge white golf balls atop military facilities. They are designed to be transparent to radar and radio waves while preserving structural integrity in severe environments. Radomes protect key surveillance equipment that detect satellites, missiles, and space debris at sites such as Vandenberg Tracking Station and Clear Space Force Station. Radar signals can travel through construction materials with minimal interference, which are often specialist fiberglass or composite materials. Modern radome designs include advanced features such as temperature control and electromagnetic protection. Without these protective containers, sophisticated radar systems would quickly deteriorate, jeopardizing their capacity to monitor aerospace threats. Maintaining radomes provides distinct issues in a variety of situations. Arctic locales are subjected to extreme ice storms and wind conditions, which can cause vital repairs to be delayed for weeks. Access challenges exacerbate these issues, with some sites necessitating costly charter flights and specialist equipment transport to remote places. Weather conditions significantly limit maintenance windows, as technicians cannot work safely when wind gusts surpass 25 miles per hour. Traditional radomes required repeated maintenance cycles every 1 to 3 years, which resulted in high costs of up to $75,000 for every maintenance visit. Salt air in coastal locations increases corrosion, whereas desert facilities face high temperature swings and sandstorms. Modern solutions focus on producing more durable materials and new fastening techniques, which can stretch maintenance intervals to 15 years and potentially save millions of dollars in long-term operational expenditures.
We've got some of these in very remote areas of Alaska that get snow and ice blasting on them in all environments, corrosive and arid environments. Some of these sites are very expensive to get to. You have to take charter flights just to get to them. It's tough to get material there. Weather is one of our biggest issues.
Radome replacement operations are significant engineering problems that require thorough preparation and execution. On facilities such as Kwajalein Atoll, workers carefully dismantle old protection structures while avoiding damage to multi-million-dollar radar systems. Special cranes and rigging equipment are used to carry enormous dome segments, which can weigh several tons each. Installation crews face major timing constraints because radar systems remain susceptible until new protective shells are installed. Weather windows must be flawless, as the wind can transform panels into deadly sails during lifts. Modern replacement projects often use sophisticated composite materials with higher signal transparency and durability. Following installation, careful collaboration is performed to ensure that radar performance satisfies operational requirements using upgraded dome material. But radars in the air have a longer range. Boeing's E-3 Sentry was developed in response to 1960s requirements for advanced airborne early warning capabilities. Built on a modified Boeing 707 aircraft, its most distinguishing feature is a 30-foot spinning radome set on struts above the fuselage. This radar dish rotates 6 times per minute and provides 360-degree airspace coverage for up to 250 miles. E-3s, first developed in 1977, changed combat awareness by tracking many aircraft simultaneously while operating at high altitudes. These aircraft, which were combat-proven during Desert Storm, continue to serve NATO and many air forces, controlling fighter intercepts and coordinating airborne operations. When an E-3 flight is planned, crews begin E-3 Sentry operations several hours before, performing comprehensive system checks on the advanced radar and mission equipment. As pilots conduct routine aircraft inspections, technicians test the huge radome's rotation system. 4 strong turbofan engines require close attention during the startup phase. During the takeoff roll, pilots must account for the peculiar aerodynamic effects of the 30-foot radar dome. The aircraft requires greater thrust than regular 707s due to its higher drag and weight. As speed increases, precise control inputs maintain stability, while the hefty top-mounted radar equipment impacts the aircraft's center of gravity. Once airborne, operators closely monitor climb rates until they reach operational altitude. Mission personnel turn on advanced radar and computer systems, and communication links are activated. Radar controllers watch many screens that display real-time tracking data of aircraft movements over long distances. Aircraft coordinators are in continual radio contact with fighter aircraft and ground stations, guiding interceptions and detecting potential threats. Mission Crew Commanders, or MCGs, coordinate the complicated dance of tracking hundreds of aircraft simultaneously, while technicians ensure radar systems operate at peak efficiency. Combat information specialists examine data trends and maintain situational awareness. The U.S. Navy's E-2 Hawkeye has served as the eyes of carrier combat groups since 1964, delivering airborne early warning. This twin turboprop aircraft operates from aircraft carrier decks and has a remarkable 24-foot spinning radar dome above its fuselage. Despite being smaller than the E-3 Sentry, Hawkeyes can efficiently track hundreds of planes and ships at the same time. Modern E-2D advanced Hawkeyes use advanced electronically scanned radar systems to identify both conventional aircraft and future threats such as cruise missiles. Carrier operations require extraordinary pilot skills, particularly during night landings. 5 crew members work together to manage radar, communications, and tactical coordination while providing critical threat warnings to the fleet. EA-6B Prowlers were the principal electronic warfare aircraft for the United States Navy and Marine Corps from 1971 until its retirement in 2019. This 4-seat aircraft, built on the A-6 Intruder airframe, specializes in radar jamming and electronic countermeasures to protect strike packages from hostile air defenses. Prowler crews comprised 1 pilot and 3 electronic countermeasure officers, or ECMOs, who used sophisticated jamming pods and surveillance equipment. During combat missions, this aircraft disrupted opposing air defenses' radar and communications systems. Their performance proved vital in conflicts ranging from Vietnam to Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Prowler's legacy lives on with its successor, the EA-18G Growler, which continues the electronic warfare duty in modern operations. Electronic warfare officers are highly trained specialists in detecting, analyzing, and countering adversary electromagnetic threats. These officers use advanced equipment to defend aircraft and ground personnel against radar-guided weapons while maintaining electromagnetic battlefield superiority. During operations, EWOs monitor threat warning systems, use jamming tactics to disrupt hostile radar systems, and coordinate defensive countermeasures. Their competence includes managing sophisticated electronic systems and evaluating data in real-time combat scenarios. These experts must constantly refresh their understanding as opponents develop new radar and targeting technology. Modern EWOs also play critical roles in signal intelligence gathering and electromagnetic spectrum management, ensuring that friendly forces may communicate while enemies are denied these capabilities. Prowlers served with distinction in the U.S. military. On March 8, 2019, Marine Tactical Electronic Warfare Squadron 2, or VMAQ-2, flew its final EA-6B, capping nearly 5 decades of dedicated service. As the last Prowler touched down in Cherry Point, North Carolina, veteran aircrew gathered to say goodbye to an aircraft that had saved countless lives with undetectable electronic shields. Once heard over conflict zones worldwide, the unmistakable shriek of its J-52 engines became silent. Though supplanted by subsequent platforms, the Prowler's contributions to electronic warfare helped create the current battle doctrine. Its legacy continues via generations of electronic warfare officers who honed their skills in the small cabin, devising methods still utilized today. Fortunately, the Prowler was replaced with a very capable aircraft, the EA-18G Growler. Before each Growler operation, technicians meticulously load and test ALQ-218 receiver pods on the wingtips and ALQ-99 tactical jamming pods beneath the wings. Ground crews test the next-generation jammer systems while loading precise electronic attack weapons, while pilots perform system checks on the advanced radar warning receivers. Unlike traditional weapon loading, electronic warfare personnel must precisely tune jamming frequencies and test electromagnetic emission devices. The aircraft's complex array of antenna and sensors necessitates extensive testing to ensure optimal effectiveness against opposing air defense systems. Radar has transformed the world so that no enemy can launch an undetected attack on another country. From airborne platforms like the E-3 and E-2 to active jamming aircraft like the Prowler and Growler, radar may never go out of service. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.